Hi everyone, welcome back to the rundown for ESC. I'm joined by co-host Scooby. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about Marvel Rivals! Oh my gosh, I am so ecstatic. Come on now, if you've already seen the trailer for Cyclops, I know you're ready. I'm ready. Holy crap. But that's different topic. We're here to talk about ESC people. But
I don't know, I kind of want to talk about Marvel Rivals too, because that's also my game, so... But you know, this meta, I hate this meta right now. The dinosaur just came out, and as someone who plays, like, support, or, like, you know, it's like, I can't see around the dinosaur. Like, when I play Luna, I'm like,
right.
I can't see anything in my screen but a giant red blob.
No, especially when the ult pops too, it's just a complete mess. But I do have to say, I do kind of like this meta, but that's only because I love Brawl.
Oh, you're a brawler, okay.
Oh, yeah. This meta has been 50-50, but again, I understand everyone's sentiment on not liking it.
Yeah, Cyclops will be out by the time ESC is here, right? So,
oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing some interesting, fun gameplay and everything that's going to shake it up. So, Scooby, you've been doing your research. Tell me what it's all about. Who's the standout team for you right now?
Okay, if I have to be honest, I'm gonna have to go with Bronco. Specifically because this team here, I am loving their support. Specifically their player, their MVP, in my opinion, is Snowy Chills. They have a 74.4% win rate with Invis and a 57.6% with Luna Snow. Their full-on KDA is a 5.0.4, and everyone else on the roster is phenomenal. I mean, the last time that I was able to see their roster, since, again, people have their accounts privated, which is understandable. I don't hate. But when I was able to see their last matches, a lot of them, especially with this team, played a lot of dive here. Either way, I really like this team more because of I've always loved dive. Dive is one of those comps that it's really hard to counter, especially if you don't have someone who's precise with their shots. There's not a lot of characters in Marvel Rivals that are anti-dive, so when you have to pick your bans before you get into a match, you have to pick carefully. It's not one of those things that you can just kind of be freely with. So I really cannot wait to see what Broncos do, and I'm gonna be honest, I got a lot on different teams, and there is so many. It's crazy. This is gonna be a crazy ESC.
I really am interested on like why Lake Belton Broncos is your pick and everything. Is it because of that support player?
Mainly, yes, because I think supports. I think they are really the key pieces when it comes to these type of games. There's so many different abilities that can take out a DPS. You can single them out. There's so many tanks at this point that, you know, are basically either built on brawl type / dive, or a flyer, or a shield. Like, there's only so much that comes with this game at times, so you really have to lean on your supports.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a 3 DPS, what do? You go 3 healers if needed. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's only you out heal, or you do damage so you can out heal the healers. It's just a battle of the healers, to my personal opinion. So
Yeah.
when I see a really good healer, I kind of clench onto it, and I just keep my eye out more for that team, because man, you need your lifeline.
But yeah, I really am interested to see that this is your go-to favorite to pick, because they were the 4th and 3rd placer for fall season, and that's how they qualified, because the 1st and 2nd seed were unable to go to Florida. It's a very long trip for a lot of people, you know, and our fall teams are always the ones that I'm really interested in seeing how they do, because for some reason when it comes to spring they kind of fall off, but that could be because that they also competed in Vanta at the same time, and they were able to win the championships for Vanta. For my team that I'm going with, you know, I am split between two. I personally love the Norwalk team. Personally, because, like, you know, I'm friends with the coach also, and I know how much love and dedication he puts into these players. Like, his Marvel Rivals team, like, he doesn't have one team. He doesn't have 2 teams. He has 3 teams that like he's cultivating their talents. And what they do is they spend a whole semester off, like the whole fall semester. They take a break and they like, you know, lock in. They learn about like their play style, and then in the spring they come in hard and they're just like, you know, it's time for us to show off what we can do, and they really put like their stuff out there. What stuff do you have about Norwalk?
First and foremost, the fact that you said that, it shows in the stats. Like these players are no, they're crazy. I mean, again, I was looking at their last like past games. I mean, Goose plays Magneto. His last game, 47-3-8. I mean, that is a beautiful thing as Mag. Something that you need as a tank, especially a shield tank. You can't die as much. It's a rule. You, in my opinion, my rule is if you die 5 times, you might need to switch. Gonna be honest, especially in a high comp, you have to protect. I mean, you have a shield for a reason. I mean, it's beautiful. Also, Map playing Bucky last game saw 53-4-7. I mean, oh my gosh, that's nasty. And I love Bucky, especially in today's comp, because he's not too much of a poke and he's not really a dive, so he falls into this weird line of being brawl. But his kit has a shotgun in his pool. It's a nasty combo, especially with his uppercut. So I love Bucky in this comp. These stats, this is not just a fluke. This is something that's consistent. And even seeing when they play on like singular and by themselves, these are consistent stats. So I'm actually glad that you chose this team. They're really good.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I mean, I love a good tank player because, you know, when the tank knows how to create space for the team, chef kiss, like, beautiful. Thank you so much. But it's interesting that you talk about Maps, because Maps is probably one of the highest ranked players in all of like this whole tournament. So really cool to see that he is a strong Bucky player. And people, you better watch out for his pulls because it's gonna come out of nowhere.
It's a combo. It's a nasty combo, man. You don't want to get done by it.
So the really cool thing about this team is not only do they play really well, but their average GPA is 4.0. So not only are they big gamers, but they also get things done. Like they get business done. So we love to see that. We love seeing that, like, you know, having a healthy balance of responsibility, but also doing the things that you love is really important. I think that's like something that is really valued at Norwalk's esports program, is that there is a really good balance. All of them are juniors and freshmen too, so no seniors. We're gonna see a comeback hopefully with this team, and they have a lot of growth, and if anything, like, this is a team to watch out for because they have a lot of room to grow, and I'm excited to see where they grow to.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. I was about to say, especially when you have a young team that's talented like that, you can just mature them and get them into a different level. Even if, you know, they don't make a goal that they don't hit this year, they could just come back over at least one more time to at least try to punch it in. So that's beautiful to hear.
And then I'm gonna talk about my second one that I'm like also really enjoy watching right now, because I told you I was tippy-toeing between two, you know.
Right.
Laymore.
Eliam. Yep.
Yeah,
yep,
Laymore.
Yep.
So they're kind of like the rivals of Norwalk, if you could say. They're the 3-time first place winners for Play Versus for Marval Rivals. So undefeated, highly skilled team and everything. And they're also our spring champions. So this is a team to look out for, just in general for Laymore. And they've been pushing equipment across campus and shopping carts just to like get everything together for the kids. And I think that's like super amazing. That like, I think that goes in with like the team bonding aspect. I think there's just something about when a team has to like rough it together and you build those bonds that like allow you to communicate with your teammates without needing to verbalize it, you know. We've talked about this before, but the importance of that team synergy is so important because I think we both agree, you know, once you hit a certain level in Marval Rivals, it's all about the team synergy. It's all about the teamwork. You can have the best player on the team, but if your team is not playing around you, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you are. It's all about like the ult management. It's all about the combos. It's all about, you know, where to be and where to go and how to use your abilities.
I was able to actually see how you guys played, and it's funny enough. When you guys went against PISD Elite, if I'm not mistaken, it was the second half. Actually, both rounds, you guys didn't ban Gambit, but it was very clear that you guys trusted in Zambi. Like, there was a duplicate on the other team, so you guys took the risk on trusting within them so you can actually pursue the win that you guys wanted and the things that you guys practiced, and it showed. So there's a lot of trust within this team, even with going for Elsa Bloodstone. Elsa Bloodstone at this time and age, a lot of people might not even use her, but again, you have to be entrusted within one of your players to still stick through the nerfs that Elsa Bloodstone has endured and get a win. So I'm actually very proud of this team. This team is very much, it's a solid glue. It's a beauty with this team. I really love them, just from what I'm seeing gameplay wise. So
I love hearing that Slushy is the Bucky on the team, because he is probably also within the top 3 players in coming into Marvel Rivals. So we're gonna see a rivalry, I think, between Slushy and Map. Yes, so we might see some rivalry between Map and Slushy, and I'm all in for that. I hope that we see them in the bracket later on against each other, not early, but if we see them early on against each other,
it's gonna be crazy.
You'll see me in the audience. You're gonna be like, Jamie, where are you? Why aren't you at registration? And I'm gonna be like, I have to be here for this one. I have to. Someone else.
You guys not see what's happening on the screen?
I need to take my 10-minute break right now, because not even 10 minutes, 1 hour, please.
I cannot. I'm telling you, this Marvel Rivals, we have such stacked teams. It's kind of insane. Even to the XP League teams, there's a lot of good teams out there.
Yeah,
so,
I think I'm just super amazed how closely ranked all of the players are. And because of that, it really does come down to the teamwork. It's gonna come down to how well do you play together as a team. And every single player matters in Marvel Rivals. You mess up or time one ult wrong, that's a difference between that ult could have been used in a team fight or used a little bit longer,
I'm actually curious. What are the bans that you think we are gonna see coming into this Marvel Rivals? Because there's a lot of duplicates, I have to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now, we're gonna see a lot of Cyclops bans, especially going into ESC.
Oh yeah.
Because he's just so new, and these players just won't have the opportunity to test it out as much as they should be before they get there to what they need to do, because they're not at their setup. So while they're in Florida, some of these teams are flying all the way from the West Coast to Florida. I mean, they're going to be at Disneyland, they're going to be at Universal Studios, they'll be at SeaWorld. So, what? Practice?
Practice? Heard? What?
I mean, you could rent a car and go head over to Mulholland, Wekiva Springs, and you can.
Hey, we're open. Hey,
fast internet, that practice sessions that you guys needed and everything, and show up, and that's where you can get your real scrims in before the matches start. Because when you're at ESC, I don't think you're gonna get some very good scrims in, because the chaos of everything happening is going to be insane.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially with being in the Fortress, not my first rodeo within the Fortress, so I will say it is a beauty to being in, especially in the live venue as well. Yeah. So, yes, gonna be a crazy experience. So, hey, why not stop by?
Exactly. So, Scooby, what team are you also looking out for?
Okay, so this is a team that I feel like is a little bit underrated, but I'm a little bit scared because the footage that I found of them was 2 months ago. So this is a 2 months ago comp. So in Marvel Rivals, we know that the changes happen, so it's fast, so it's a little bit mixy, but I still say I like the comp. Again, it was hard to find the actual stats, but I was able to watch gameplay. So let's talk a little bit about that. So looking at this team, they have a Strange, a Thor, a Daredevil, a Gambit, an Adam Warlock, and a Spider-Man. Okay, and this is for domination.
Wait. You haven't told me what team it is. You're like...
Oh my gosh, I jumped into it? Hold on.
You're that excited. You're just jumping into it, and I'm just like,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Which team? Which team?
Is it Aztecs? Yes, this team, I'm going to be honest, XPL Asheville Aztecs, is a little bit underrated for like I want to see their updated comp. That is something that I really want to see. Because if we look at Pickles playing Daredevil, that's a common dive move. You can't be mad at that, especially through his abilities. You can see through walls, his ult. You can single out players in the back line and get out of there pretty fast. I really like that pick. If you look at Nico playing Gambit, I'm surprised Gambit keeps making it through like through these games. I mean, guys, do we not hey, look, I'm just a stat guy, so who knows? Maybe the people just want to see it. The people want Gambit, so we get fed Gambit. Adam Warlock, though, that is interesting. You do not see a lot of Adam Warlocks, especially in the 2-2-2 format, but it plays in their favor. And then, of course, Spider-Man coming from Slay. That's Slay Queen. That's common. I'm gonna be honest. Like you see a Spider-Man throughout the day, especially with the Spider-Man buff. Amazing to see. And then of course for my two tanks, I mean, I love a Strange. Wow, thank you PG1. Your guys' names, by the way, very exotic. Your guys' names are exotic. But here's the real thing I want to talk about. I want to get through really fast. When they switch into a different round, it was onto payload. The switches that they did were pretty interesting. Adam Warlock switched over to Ultron, and then Slayer switched over to Thing. What does this all mean, people? That these team knows how to flip, flop, and go into different roles. This is a Flex team, and Flex's team, that's interesting.
That's
especially
dangerous.
in a game. That's dangerous. That's dangerous, and it's dangerous because all these other teams seem pretty stuck with what they like. Not a lot of them are looking like they're doing crazy counters. Maybe one or two players, but this team here, they look like they're ready to switch it up when they have to, and they look like they're map dependent, and that's pretty cool because that means that they can do whatever they want depending on the situation. So that is definitely one of my underrated teams, and I cannot wait to see what the updated comp looks like.
Yeah, so really interesting. Asheville Tanks is probably one of the wild cards, along with, obviously the TechSef wild card. This is their first season, like spring was their first season ever competing in Marvel Rivals, because previously XP Leagues did not compete in Marvel Rivals. They were like, they had their players, they were competing in like Fortnite and like, Apex, waiting for their opportunity to be on a Marvel Rivals team. And they just started this spring. So I think they're still trying to find themselves in that groove. And when players first become on a team, they're coming off of the solo queue, which is, they have their picks that like are a little bit weird compared to like some of the metas that we see. So we see the like Ultron pick, we see the Atom pick, we see the like, Strange pick that's used in tank that usually isn't played in tank anymore unless it's like, for the portal. It's gonna make this team either extremely like super difficult to deal with because it's so unpredictable, or it's gonna make the team like, not taken seriously by the other teams, and they're just gonna be like, I don't know what they're gonna do, so it's okay, we don't care, we're gonna focus on like the big dogs, like people are gonna, everyone's eyes are gonna be on Lamore, everyone's eyes are gonna be on like Norwalk, on Broncos, on those teams at the top. So it's like you kind of forget about those other teams, and with unpredictability, you never know what will happen.
That's the beauty.
Exactly.
That's the story, and that's why I'm hoping to see something good.
So I want to not forget about MD, which is the team that was our last team to qualify through the PR. So MD, Modern Day is a really interesting school because they've always been at like top 5 teams that compete with VHL, but they've never been able to get past that, like, break in the top 3 kind of like spot and solidify themselves as one of the top dogs, but they've always been there. I think, one of the longest standing teams with VHL. So really interested to see how their story comes and how their story plays out. So that's going to be a really interesting one right there. The wild card, the real wild card. I know like we were saying like Asheville was the wild card, but the real wild card is going to be that TechSef team. So it's going to be the Science Academy, the STISD Science Academy. So their team won the offline TechSef event convincingly. That's what the coach says, not my words. That's what the coach says.
Okay.
Yeah. Science Academy, just a little bit shout out to them too and how their amazing achievements are. They're ranked #1 in the nation as an esports program for high schools on USA Today. This is the first out-of-state appearance for esports for them. So this is the first time the team's going out of state. And they were recognized and funded as an official sport at their school for South Texas ISD. So they're making waves here. So we all know, we've all been in esports for a while now. And it's so hard to prove your legitimacy compared to like, sports sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people are like, oh, it's just video games. Let's do it. And I'm like, no, it's so much more than that. It's like, you have to have communication there. You have to drill in like the same types of like mechanical skills. Like, yes, you're not going about like strength and everything, but you have to be able to be so precise with your mechanics. You have to be so precise with your timing, and you have to know, like, you have to basically read the minds of your teammate and know exactly what they're gonna do. Like, it's not as simple as like, oh, go over there. What does that mean?
No, if it was that simple, everybody would be doing it right now. Like, no, that's just not how it goes.
So Scooby, I just sent you their composition that they had during their TechSet finals. Break it down. Because all of today, the whole time we've been yapping. I know, right? That was my reaction too when I first saw it. I'm like, what? I'm like, we haven't talked about any of these characters. We haven't talked about Moon Knight. We haven't talked about Fox. We haven't talked about Deadpool at all.
Nah.
We haven't talked about Groot. Groot's on
Not
here.
even. And you know what? You know what? Can we get some Groot love? Can we get some Groot love in the comments?
I hate
Someone
Groot.
no.
Okay.
What? No. Because Groot, that's the thing. Groot gets banned so much, I'd be forgetting about my main man, but Groot is actually really good.
He's cracked if he gets past bans. Like, I insta-ban Groot because I just don't want to deal with it. But also, that's also from solo queue perspective, because, you know, when you have a tank on your team and they play Groot and they don't know how to play Groot, it is painful. It is so painful.
It's just bad Fortnite around you. Like, it's horrible. It's, oh my gosh, it's gross.
I love playing Fortnite and Marvel Rivals.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. But looking at this comp, I'm gonna be so honest. The one thing that I am very like, okay, I understand. It is the Groot and Moon Knight. The Groot and Moon Knight, again, just like we talked about, if Groot can make it out of the ban phase, he plays to a different level, especially paired with Moon Knight. I mean, you can basically just use his unk and use his projectiles and just bang off everybody's head, and then just do it from afar and everything, and it's easy peasy for SA Dragons. So then when you look at, because I'm pretty sure that is healer Deadpool, no? That is triple support we're looking at. That I love, because looking at all three of them, these are offensive supports. Let's talk about it. Offensive supports are so needed whenever you're going against this dive-esque of a game, because there are a lot of dive characters and even some poke characters that can dive. It's insane. So when you're looking at the healers that they have, you have Deadpool, he has his swords and his guns. He can bounce around, shoot around, basically make himself very invulnerable. Then you're looking at White Fox, the teleport. Come on, that's very meta. Like, it's super meta, and it is super annoying as a dive tank. But hey, that's just me personally. But
personal feelings in this.
Oh, for sure, because then there's Invis, like the literal cousin of this like duo that we have with Deadpool and White Fox. Like, Invis is the original. Invis and CND, those are the original, like, hey, get off me, do not try to mess with me type of supports. And Invis is so immense. So again, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be hard to say that these characters are gonna get past the ban phase.
Yeah, but
like,
you can only ban 6. That's it.
But I'm like,
exactly.
And if I had to pick, Invis has to get out of there.
Mm.
If I was a different team, like, because this team comp is strong. I see why they've been winning.
Mm.
This team comp is strong.
Yeah.
But
who knows? I think that's just how they're such a wild card, because they've been playing different teams. They've been playing in a different meta, and they're either gonna be shocked by the playstyle that we have with the VHEL teams, or they're gonna be like ready. And the VHEL teams are not gonna be ready for Science Academy. They're gonna be like, what is this composition? So if I were another team, I'd watch this video. I would go watch the grand finals that that Science Academy did and pick it apart. And if you're not doing your homework, you're not ready for ESC, by the way, everyone. Like, make sure you're doing your homework, research your opponents. That is a big part of the game. Do not just depend on your coach to do it either, because your coach is busy.
Busy! More busy than you think, people.
More busy than you think. And also, you're not going to be able to depend on your coach while you're in the game. Your coach is not going to be able to coach you while you're in the game on stage playing. So you need to make sure you take the initiative, and that you make sure that your teammates know who to ban, who to switch to, when to make those switches, and how to make those switches proper whenever you see something that's so out of pocket.
Yep. No, exactly. So
Perfect.
I'm excited to see this team. Cannot wait.
And the last thing I don't want everyone to forget about is the XPL Frisco Falcons. I'm super excited for them just to be able to make it to ESC. Super excited, as you know, they're also an XP League team, and they're new. They're like, you know, waiting for that Marvel Rivals opportunity, and they made it, and they're just like, please, I want to be here and everything, and I want to do it. And they were able to show up on stage, and hopefully they'll be able to give a really good showing. The really cool thing is that this team's been competing against college teams. You always know that, like, the better teams get better if you get good scrims, and those scrims are very important.
We have Sir Titled playing Magneto. We have, if I'm not mistaken,
Tomato. Can you? Sir Tilted.
Sir Tilted. Oh my gosh! Please don't explode me. Hold on.
No. Scooby just wanted to, like, tilted. I don't get tilted. It's Tyler.
Sir Tilted, you play Magneto, which I adore because you have a rogue right on next to your side. I think this team can go far if everything falls in the right places for them.
I mean, if everything falls in the right places for any of these teams can go really far. So, I mean, it's really
wrong.
Anyone's game here for ESC, and I'm super excited to see what these teams have to cooking up for the stage. Stay up, do your homework, and, you know, good luck, everyone. Anyways, I was your host, Jamie, joined by my host.
My name is Scooby, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bye, everyone.